Consciousness is a complex concept that involves sensory awareness, self-awareness, and the ability to process stimuli. There are two main components to consciousness, the first being sensory awareness. Sensory awareness refers to an infant's ability to perceive their surroundings via sight, sound, and touch. The second component is self-awareness, which involves recognizing oneself as separate from others. This develops later in infancy and continues to evolve over time. As infants grow, significant milestones mark the development of their consciousness. By 4 to 8 months, infants demonstrate secondary circular reactions, such as shaking a rattle to produce sound. This marks a shift from purely reflexive behavior to purposeful interactions with external objects. Around 8 months, the understanding of object permanence emerges, signaling a critical cognitive advancement in recognizing that objects continue to exist even when out of sight. For example, in the game of peekaboo, before the development of object permanence, babies don't understand that the peeker is always hidden behind their hands, making the reappearance of the peeker very surprising and entertaining. However, as object permanence emerges over time, younger children start to understand that the peeker is simply behind their hands and don't find the game as fun. By 18 to 24 months, toddlers reach a stage of mental representation, where they can solve problems using mental strategies and engage in pretend play. This period also marks the beginnings of self-recognition, an advanced form of self-awareness.
Now we'll be moving on to markers and cognitive aspects within the emerging consciousness. So what is this? These milestones and markers reflect their growing ability to interact with their environment, process stimuli, and respond. The first key aspect is behavioral indicators, which are early observable signs of consciousness. This includes newborn reflexes like sucking and grasping, which eventually evolve into deliberate actions. By a few months, infants smile socially and respond to caregivers, showing growing awareness and the ability to form basic connections. Peekaboo demonstrates an understanding of object permanence, which is a foundational cognitive concept that objects continue to exist even when they're not visible. Attention mechanisms are the next critical markers for consciousness. Infants demonstrate selective attention to toys or faces. This highlights cognitive filtering, where they can focus on specific stimuli and evolve into more complex tasks as they grow. Around 9 months, joint attention emerges, which is shared focus on an object with a caregiver. This shared focus not only facilitates language learning, but also indicates an awareness of others' intentions and perspectives. Memory development is the next key role in the growth of consciousness. Newborns primarily rely on implicit memory, which operates unconsciously. By 6 months, explicit memory, the ability to consciously recall actions or events, begins to emerge. By their first birthday, infants can remember and imitate actions they've seen, demonstrating significant progress in cognitive development. The last marker is self-awareness. This is the ability to recognize oneself, which develops by 18 months. The mirror test exemplifies this milestone. A toddler recognizes their reflection and interacts with it. This awareness indicates emotions and intentions, laying the foundation for empathy in social interactions.
Now we're going to dive into effects of attachments. Attachment styles are essential to how infants develop their early consciousness, that being their first sense of self and the world around them. An attachment is the emotional bond between a baby and their caregiver. By 6 to 9 months, this bond starts to shape how babies experience and respond to the world. When a caregiver is supportive and consistent, babies form a secure attachment. This gives them a sense of safety and comfort, which helps them explore their surroundings and regulate their emotions. This emotional regulation is key to developing early consciousness. It helps babies start to understand themselves and how they fit into the world. In contrast, an insecure attachment comes from inconsistent or unresponsive caregiving. This makes the world feel unpredictable, which disrupts their ability to manage emotions and build a stable sense of self. Without that foundation, early consciousness struggles to grow, limiting their understanding of themselves and their environment. These early attachment styles have long-term effects, influencing how infants think, feel, and connect with others as they grow. In many ways, the quality of this early bond lays the groundwork for the kind of person they'll become.
Future directions with the current findings in the conscious field involve mapping neural networks of conscious processes through advanced neuroimaging and artificial intelligence. These techniques have offered unprecedented opportunities to map the brain and provide the information necessary for modeling the cognitive system that underlie our conscious processes. Being able to model consciousness with these tools paves the way for some revolutionary applications. Being able to understand how consciousness develops can help improve early childhood education and caregiving techniques, and can also provide interventions for certain developmental disorders, stopping them before they even have the chance to form. Such discoveries also have the potential to revolutionize AI systems, giving them the ability to emulate human-like responses, reactions, and self-awareness. Even beyond that, the study of the conscious mind has the potential to uncover new truths about age-old philosophies. These studies give us a window into what it means to exist as a human being and how to better shape our lives, identities, and societies in response to it. Consciousness research continues to enrich our understanding of the human mind, offering insight into questions that have lingered in the thoughts of humans for millennia. The study of the brain, not only in relation to consciousness, provides information of how to better shape both societies and populations as a whole, with new technology, medical interventions, and caregiving techniques, but also on an individual level, providing people with the ability to look within themselves and make changes in the things once thought to be an absolute mystery.